Hello, welcome to this your channel, the Mega Eurofan. That's me. Norway is still enjoying its position as one of the big contenders into the contest. The viral and energetic proposal from Alessandra in last year's contest was another more proof of that success, surpassing the record from 2 years ago by placing 5th in the final ranking. In this sense, there was curiosity on who will follow her steps, with a progression that probably will lead them to the 4th victory very soon. Let's see a little more of the next artist that will represent a Nordic country, this time on the main stage of Malmö. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Norwegian entry for Eurovision 2024, which will be represented by the group Gåte with the song Ulveham, which in English translates as Wolf Belt. We start by taking a look at the biography and career of them, before then embarking in their Eurovision adventure in neighboring Sweden. Gåte is a Norwegian progressive folk rock band, coming from the city of Trondheim, located in central Norway. The name of the band in this case is a Norwegian word that can be translated in English as riddle or mystery. They are known for blending Norwegian traditional folk music with heavy metal and electronica. In fact, although they have original tracks in their repertoire, most of their compositions come from revisited and modernized versions of many of the traditional tunes of the country. They have a musical career since 1999, although they had many periods of hiatus through the years. In 2000 and 2002, they would release a couple of EPs, with which they gained a huge popularity. And in that same year, 2002, they would release as well their debut studio album, achieving an outstanding commercial success both in Norway and abroad, especially in Sweden, Denmark and Germany. In the peak of their popularity, they were participating in uncountable musical festivals both in Norway and Denmark. Then they would release a 3rd EP in 2003, followed by a 2nd studio album in 2004, until during the following year the band would announce they would take a break. In the press release issued by the band during that time, they cite among the reasons the wish from Gunhild Sundli, the lead vocalist of the band, to devote time to other different pursuits. Nevertheless, their record label would release a live album in 2006, with a collection of their greatest hits that was recorded the year prior to their musical hiatus. Much later, in 2009, the band would reunite again to perform in a single concert at first, but later changing their mind and doing a mini tour by Norway with 5 more concerts during 2010, announcing then their farewell. But many years later, in 2017, what it seemed like a last goodbye ended up to be another hiatus in their musical career, and it is because Gåte would reunite one more time with the release of their 4th EP at the end of that same year, which will be followed by their 3rd studio album the following year. Then in 2021, they will release a double musical project, formed by their 5th EP and their 4th studio album, which will be released during May and December of that year respectively. Their most recent work date from late last year with the release of their 6th EP. The band has had many members during the different periods of their musical career so far. Nowadays it's formed by vocalist Gunhild Sundli, guitarist Magnus Bergmark, drummer John Even Scherer, bassist Mats Paulsen, and multi-instrumentalist Jon Stenesen. It is true that they have had their comings and goings through their musical career, but however they have been lacking of reaching to other audiences. And it is because beyond Norway, their Scandinavian neighbors and Germany, their musical work is pretty unknown in the rest of Europe. From here, the idea of trying their luck by attempting to represent their country at Eurovision. Let's take a look then how the Eurovision experience begins for them. As it is usual, the Norwegian public broadcaster will organize what it went to be the 62nd edition of their national final Melody Grand Prix, to pick the Norwegian representative that will travel to neighboring Sweden. A month after the contest of last year, it was opened the submission period for the Norwegian artists and songwriters who wanted to send their proposals. closing it in late August of last year. At the same time, like in previous editions, the broadcaster searched for possible participating artists via direct invitation, both established artists in the Norwegian musical scene and artists from songwriting camps. After some listening sessions and a live audition round which took place in late last September, an expert panel will select the 18 artists that will participate in the national final. These were announced as usual in early last January, being Gåte among the chosen ones. In the other hand, the format will keep the changes implemented during the past edition, making a few adjustments. First, for the very first time, the broadcaster gave their approval for the participating songs to be released for the 1st of September, matching with the contest rules for the entries. Previously, it was on the broadcaster the decision on the song's release, usually matching with the announcement of the contestants. And second, the way that the votes was changed for the final show, giving more weight to the televote with the 60% and the international jury with the remaining 40%. Gåte will make their first appearance in the second semi-final, being one of the 3 qualifiers for the final show, and that will later become the big favorites for the edition after their first live performance. But then, an unexpected event will happen after their qualification. The broadcasters saw that the lyrics of the song performed by the band was exactly coming from a medieval ballad, which could result in a violation of the contest rules. To avoid possible issues in case of the song winning the national final, the broadcaster asked for assessment to the EBU to confirm the possibility of participation for the proposal. The European organization has commented in their reply that there will not be any issue and that the proposal could be accepted in that same way. However, taking into account both the national final and the contest looking for original music and lyrics, the broadcaster will decide that the band will have to rewrite the lyrics of the song ahead of their participation in the final show, having less than a week for that. I think they could avoid this by detecting it from the time they were selected to participate in the national final, but even so they took the challenge and will have ready the final version just a day before the final show. Thereafter, in the final show, which took place in early last February, the voting results revealed that the band was the second most voted artist from the international jury, while they were the absolute favorites for the televote, earning the points needed to get a victory in the national final, fulfilling the predictions, and with it the right to represent Norway on the main stage of Malmö. A track from Medieval Times adapted to our times. Originally, this song is part of the latest EP released on last year, having the original version a length of 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Shortly after, it will be shortened to the mandatory 3 minutes, and later released as a single ahead of their participation at Melody Grand Prix this year. But in addition, as we already knew before, during their time in the national final, they had to change their lyrics to avoid issues with the contest rules. The final version, performed by the band during the final show of the national final, is the one I'm going to analyze up next. Being true to their style, the melody blends progressive rock with traditional folk music and electronic music. Stands out in this case the nickel harpa or key harp performance from John, which gives an interesting and autonomous touch to the track. For those who wouldn't know what is it, this is a musical instrument from Swedish origin, which has similarities with the fiddle and the hurdy-gurdy. The verses have the measured intensity and expectation, which helps the listener to get into the story related in the lyrics, while the chorus is overwhelming and explosive. About the vocal expert, there are 3 elements that are worthy to stand out. First is Gunhild as the lead vocalist of the band, by having extraordinary vocal skills. Her voice is usually melodic and enigmatic, but it is also very intense and heartbreaking, especially in the chorus. In the other hand, there is a performance of a herding called chant, also known as kilning. It is a chanting style used to call livestock, which is characterized by a very special vocal technique that can be heard in very long distances. During the song's intro, there is a recording heard of a kilning, performed by the Norwegian folk singer Marie Jensen Lilwen, dating from early 20 20th century, while Gunhild sings a particular performance of this Killing. If you thought that these were random vocal twists, it is not. It is the same Killing sung by herself. And last, there are the death growls, commonly used in heavy metal, which are identified to chorus towards the end of the song, although in this case these are part of the backing vocals of the track. Maybe you do not understand right now why are these death growls present, but I will shed light on it shortly. The lyrics, which are written in Norwegian, has been composed by 3 of the current members of the band, together with 3 more songwriters, including the Norwegian folk singer Marie Jensen Lilwen, to who is attributed the Killing recording into the melody, and also Sveinung Sundli, elder brother of the lead singer of the band, who was an active member of it until last year. It has to be remarked in this case that it will be the first time since 2006 that Norway sends an entry to the contest in their native language. The lyrics are essentially a modern interpretation of the Norwegian medieval ballad known as Meia i Ulveham, which in English translates as the maiden with the wolf belt. The ballad tells the story of a young maiden, which is transformed in a needle, a knife, and thereafter a sword by her evil stepmother, in which, however, she has been continuously appreciated by the people throughout all her transformations, thus angering her stepmother. Therefore, to punish her even more, the stepmother transforms the maiden into a wolf. The story finishes with the stepmother being pregnant with a child, being bound by the wolf, and to break the curse, she drinks the stepmother's blood, which will also have the blood of her unborn half-brother. And here is where the death growls come into the melody, as I have commented before, representing specifically this part of the story. Reading the lyrics in detail, previously translated of course, it summarizes the story of the medieval ballad in just 10 lines, which are the verses of the song, while the chorus, as we already know, is the Killing performed by Gunhild. About the message of the song, here is transcending a defense and a prevalence of the justice and kindness above the injustice and wickedness, as it is usually portrayed in this kind of stories, where there is a constant fight between good and evil. Having seen about the song more in detail, now I'm going to analyze the live performance of the band in the national final, which serves as the official music video for the proposal. The performance starts with the stage of dark, then you start listening to the Killing at the intro, and a tenuous light focuses to John while he plays the nickel harpa. When the first verse is about to start, the shot changes and Gunhild is seen at the center of the stage, in a spinning platform with rocks and grass, observing some laser spotlights on her while she starts her performance. The remaining members of the band are at the sides of the stage, where there is white smoke on the floor, and spotlights in green and blue tones. As the good rockers they are, they all wear black outfits, although Gunhild especially stands out by wearing a black and dark green dress, with some frills that suits very well on her. There are alternate close-ups of Gunhild, with superimposed shots of the other members of the band with natural landscapes of the country. By the chorus there is the energetic dynamic. The guys start to move around the stage. Gunhild performs the Killing while the platform is spinning much faster, and there are more vibrant lighting sets. For the second verse, the shots turn around Gunhild on the platform, while it's still spinning slower, until the same energetic dynamic of the chorus is seen again, which is more noticeable and intense compared to the first time. I hope she does not get dizzy after spinning around in that platform. It must not be easy to sing on a surface that is in constant motion. Towards the end of the performance, the stage gets almost in dark with a few spotlights on them, and the platform where it's Gunhild also stops. Making a summary of the comments, the Norwegian entry for this year is curious and different compared to previous years. The final attempt portraying part of this traditional culture into modern music has all its merit and makes the proposal quite interesting. They also have a very solid experience by performing live. Being one of the most acclaimed bands in the Norwegian musical scene is not casual at all, and they will not disappoint for sure. as they are already quite known in Sweden, Denmark and Germany. It is about to see if they conquer the rest of Europe with their energy and dynamism. For the staging in Malmö, they will keep the same they have done in the national final for sure, probably making more use of the visual graphic side and lighting to add more impact. But very few things will change. They will also take the opportunity to present their proposal by participating in the different Eurovision parties of the season and making them the final stop in Malmö on next May. And you? What do you think about the Norwegian entry for this year? Leave your comments down below and let's start the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. As usual, don't forget to like this video if it has been of your taste, subscribe to my channel to be aware of the upcoming reviews, enable the notifications by hitting the bell, and follow me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.